Hello everybody, my name is Citrus, and it has been a good long while since I've made a video, and I was certainly not planning on coming back like this. I was gonna do a cute little update video. I was gonna explain what was going on and the direction that we're taking moving forward and what I've been doing in the past few months and all of that. And I was literally yesterday I was planning all this out. And then today I'm watching Summer Games Fest. I'm like, wow, it's incredible how freaking mid this is. I'm gonna be honest, Summer Games Fest this year was so not good. And I was barely paying attention when they hit us with a brand new announcement of a Sonic game, a 2D classic Sonic game. And I'm sorry I didn't get my reaction recorded because I was just casually watching the Game Awards. Or the Summer Games Fest. I really did not expect there to be any sort of announcement that would get me this excited or interested. And first, what we're gonna do is we're gonna analyze the trailer, then we're gonna go to the official website, which just launched, and there has been a press release, I believe, which has some additional information. So we're gonna talk about all of it, and I'm gonna give some of my thoughts on everything that showed up. So just starting with the trailer, you know, we have Sega, and then it just, boom, it suddenly starts with what I believe is Sonic 2, if I remember correctly. This looks like Sonic 2. Although a little different. If you look at the sprites, I just noticed this while I was watching this trailer a few times over. They look kind of fuzzy. I don't know why this isn't just like actual footage of Sonic 2, because this looks like they put a little blur effect over Sonic for some reason. This doesn't seem to be actually part of this game, Sonic Superstars. But anyways, we get this, Sonic's running, and then suddenly things are in 3D. You know, looks around, he's like, what the hell? Goes back over here, looks around, comes back and forth and back and forth. And then he's like, alright, oh well. And then it just immediately transitions into gameplay, and I have a lot of thoughts on how this game looks, but first we're just gonna go through and see everything here. So you see, it looks like new zones, new levels, with that classic Sonic in 3D. This weird, kind of cyberspace looking area, you know, kind of reminiscent of these Sonic Frontiers cyberspace levels. Running around. Yeah, I'm grinding, which is kind of, that's starting to dawn on me just now. Classic Sonic grinding is pretty strange. And it says, play as your favorite characters. We see Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, and Amy, which, I'll get into this. There were rumors about there being a 2D Sonic game announced soon. From Zippo, I believe. He said that there'd be a 2D Sonic game. He said it would be a Rush/Advanced style game, which this isn't, but he did say that Amy would be in the next 2D game. Oh yeah, one of the big things that they showed off in this trailer, multiplayer. Everyone's playing simultaneously, you're running around, which again, many thoughts on this. You have this big, metal fish in the background, which looks absolutely crazy. Very, Sonic Heroes reminiscent. I'm not sure if there's actually an enemy in Sonic Heroes that's quite like this, but it just has that same vibe, and the environment has that similar vibe. I don't know, just a lot of Heroes vibes from this game for some reason. Oh yeah, and then, God, this trailer just throws so much at you so fast, because if we go back, I see these voxelized versions of Sonic, Tails, Amy, and Knuckles, which are really, really cute. They go through this teleporter, and now they're jellyfish. What? What is going on? They say master new powers and abilities, and we see Sonic turn into Ice Sonic running on walls, or I guess more aptly Water Sonic, because he uses it to also go up this waterfall. You get this 3D perspective from the third person perspective. Sonic using a energy lasso. I mean, straight out of Sonic Boom with this one, the energy lasso thing, which is, or what do they call it in Sonic Boom? The Ener Beams. Yeah, the Ener Beams, which is really weird. That might be a special stage, but then this is also a special stage, which you can see. You can play in multiplayer, which is nice. Here we have a boss fight, which looks kind of cool. Eggman, and then another. Just what is even going on here? Just a million Sonic Superstars. It's coming out on everything, which is pretty nice. I'm excited to pick this one up for the Switch. Get an exclusive Amy Rose skin, which we'll talk about in a few moments when we get to the website. And then Knack the Weasel shows up, or is it Knack or is it Fang? Technically it's both, but I think the official name that he goes by now is Fang the Sniper, so we'll call him Fang. It looks like he's about to go to 3D, and then it zooms in, fall 2023, very, very soon, and that's it for this trailer. Before we go to the website, I want to just talk about a few things briefly. Number one, I mentioned it at the beginning, but just the look of this game has me a little conflicted, I'm gonna be honest. It's very nice looking, I will say that. It's very, very nice looking. It reminds me of a couple things. It reminds me of Sonic Generations on the 3DS, probably just because it's classic Sonic again in these more high definition, classically designed levels. It also reminds me a little bit of Sonic 4, which is funny because also in those rumors from Zippo, this game was to be titled Sonic 5. But anyways, it has that similar vibe. I'm not sure what it is about Sonic 4, but its art style feels kind of clashing. Nothing looks quite real, quite in the environment. Sonic looks like he's just sort of on top of the level rather than being one with it and actually in the space. And that's a similar vibe I get here. It looks very nice, it's very polished, but I can't get over the feeling that like Sonic doesn't really quite look like he's here. I guess if I want to have a more apt comparison, I would bring up something like Donkey Kong Country, specifically Tropical Freeze, because that's the most recent one, it's HD. It's a good example of how Donkey Kong really feels like he's in those environments, whereas this game and Sonic 4, and even Sonic Generations on the 3DS, to a certain extent, somehow it just does not feel like Sonic's there. I think it's the lighting. I think the lighting is the biggest thing. But anyways, that's just enough bitching about graphics, because this actually looks very cool from a level design perspective. You go over here, Sonic's doing this like weird like oblong loop. He's running around. That posing of Sonic looks really cool. And then it cuts to this, which is like these weird floating curves in the sky, which send Sonic all the way over here through this thing, which has like a nice little effect on that ring. Again, grinding, which is pretty insane in a 2D Sonic game, or a 2D classic Sonic game, I should say. Play as your favorite characters again. But we'll talk about these briefly. I mean, they all, like, their models look really, really nice. I love how they've been translated from 2D to 3D. Knuckles has that classic Sonic 3 look. Like, you can just tell that they were paying very close attention to those sprites when they made them. And Amy is really, really adorable. Like, something about her running animation is just so cute, with just like the feet just kind of going. They look like they're going a million miles an hour, and it's really cute. And then yeah, team up with friends. This is really interesting to me. I was already kind of getting this vibe from this game, but then when they did this, it kind of cemented this in my mind. This feels like they're going for a new Super Mario Bros. Style for Sonic, where it's classic, but it's been modernized, and there's this multiplayer aspect. It feels reminiscent of that game. And then when they get into the power-ups later on in the trailer, like, oh yeah, this whole thing, I don't know why, it just reminds me of New Super Mario Bros. Not that anything like this really happens in those games, but it feels like that. And these abilities, something about like Ice Sonic, you know, kind of like Ice Mario, or excuse me, I keep on calling him Ice because he looks like ice, but I guess it's water. This isn't really anything related to Mario. I don't know, it has some of that new Super Mario Bros. DNA in it, seemingly at least. You have this little moment, which is kind of cinematic. You have Sonic and Amy facing off against a giant Eggman robot. It's not quite the Egg Robo, but it almost looks like the Egg Robo. He's got these weird missile arms. He's doing a little dance right there. You know how it is. And then Sonic unleashes this move, which looks really funny. It's like an early version of one of the moves that Sonic does in Frontiers, the one where he like spins into a ball and like 5 different Sonic clones pop out. It's like that, but funnier, because it's just a bunch of Sonics. And of course, Knack is here, which is interesting. I keep on calling him Neck. Fang the sniper, which means that we can decently well assume that the rest of the hooligans will be here, which will be fun. Possibly Mighty and Ray will show up, I don't know. Whenever the hooligans are involved, whenever it's classic Sonic, Sega seems to enjoy throwing Mighty and Ray into the mix, as they've kind of become part of the extended classic cast. And it would be nice to see them in 3D for the first time ever, I believe. I don't know if Mighty and Ray have ever been portrayed in 3D before, as well as Fang. I don't think Fang or the hooligans have either. So it'll be, again, we definitely know Fang is going to be in 3D at least, and that's going to be really cool. But if we move over here to the website, there's a little bit more to go off of. First of all, we have this image of Sonic holding a Chaos Emerald. It's kind of funny, I don't know, this game, this is kind of what I was also bringing up with the whole new Super Mario Bros. Feel. It feels just like default Sonic, you know, like you think of Sonic and like, yeah, that's him. It's called Sonic Superstars, not a super descriptive name. He's holding a Chaos Emerald, sure. It's just like, yeah, that's him. If we scroll down here, we go down to features, it says new thrills, classic feels. Adventure through the mystical North Star Islands in this all-new take on classic 2D Sonic high-speed action platforming. Play as Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, and Amy and harness the all-new Emerald powers to move and attack in dynamic new ways. Now that was probably the stuff with like the Water Sonic and the like multiple Sonics coming off screen, maybe even the like Enter Beam stuff that was going on there. That seems to be tied to these Emerald powers. Which, to comment on that for a second, is pretty interesting. We haven't really seen the Emeralds do much, other than, you know, teleport people. Shadow back in the day used to do a lot of Chaos Spear and stuff, but we don't really see that in the games anymore. And going super. So having new Emerald powers is really interesting, just from like a lore standpoint as well. Maybe this is like the precursor to Chaos Control and Chaos Spear and stuff. Maybe it's some sort of new thing that's only in this game and they explain it through the story. I don't know. Navigate gorgeous, never before seen environments solo or with up to 3 players and stop Dr. Eggman, Fang, and a mysterious new adversary from converting the island's giant animals into badniks before it's too late. Now, this mysterious new character thing is very, very interesting. I'm so excited to see a new classic style character. Just thinking about everything that they've shown so far, I'm imagining that this new character will be tied to that sort of voxelized cyberspace looking place. And if that's really interesting then, because if we have a new character possibly tied to this weird cyberspace realm. And then you think about Sonic Frontiers, where we had, you know, the modern Sonic cast, and Eggman, and a new character in Sage, who was tied to this cyberspace area in that game. There might be more ties between these games than we initially think, almost in a similar way to how Sonic Mania and Sonic Forces were tied together. I have some suspicion that these games might be connected, but maybe not. Maybe I'm reading too far into it. These two panels don't really go over much that we don't already know, but then this bottom one down here says harness the power of the Chaos Emeralds, multiply, swim up waterfalls, change form, and more with the powers of the Chaos Emeralds, which is just sort of specifying what the power of the Chaos Emeralds means and like what exactly in the trailer was the Chaos Emeralds. So that means that that multiplication thing that we saw in the Eggman boss fight, that was Chaos Emeralds. The waterfall stuff, that was Chaos Emeralds. Changing form, I'm assuming they're talking about the part where they all turn into jellyfish. That seems to be part of the Chaos Emeralds. And more, which we'll get into in a minute. The PR press release delves a bit more into this. Down here in the media tab, we have the trailer again, which funnily enough had a different thumbnail when this website first showed up. It said Sonic Orion in the Sonic Origins logo style. So presumably this game in development was called Sonic Orion, which is interesting. We have some screenshots down here, which just give us a clean little look at the game. You see Amy with her little hammer, that's cute. We saw this in the trailer too, and I forgot to mention it. She like uses the hammer to break through blocks. Knuckles is gliding, Sonic doing the super peel out. It's pretty nice looking. I'll say that the more I look at this game, the more I'm getting used to its visual style. And then down at the bottom, they say subscribe. And if you subscribe to their email list, then you will get a outfit for Amy, which says that it will be modern Amy's outfit on classic Amy. So that means the typical red dress that you see on Amy in every game since Sonic Adventure, really. You can wear that instead of the classic Amy green shirt and like orangey yellow skirt, which is cool. I like both outfits for Amy, but it's nice that they're giving you the option. And, it's cute that they do this little bonus stuff for people who really care and subscribe to the newsletter and stuff. But that's not all, because tracker_TD on Twitter put out this little email that is supposedly the Sonic Superstars PR email talking about more details about the game, and some of the stuff in here is very, very interesting. If we open it up, it's set to release digitally and physically, starting at $59.99 on all the major platforms and PC. So that all sounds pretty familiar, from what we know from the website and the trailer. It's really these key features where things start to become a little bit more interesting. They say 2D Sonic platforming evolved, which, just saying, oh yeah, it's new zones, music, it's beautiful. Your favorite playable characters, where they mentioned Fang, as well as Naoto Oshima, the original designer of Sonic the Hedgehog, coming back to design a new character that Sonic and his friends will have to face. So, that new character that was mentioned on the website, the mysterious person, is being designed by Oshima, which is very, very, very exciting. Naoto Oshima, if you haven't seen some of his more recent work, he did work on Balan Wonderworld, which, wasn't a great game, but actually the character designs in that game were really good. It shows that he's still got the knack for doing this stuff, and if they're on a similar level to the Balan Wonderworld designs, it'll be really interesting to see, because I just love Oshima's work, and I'm just so happy that he's back. It's so cool to see him working on a Sonic game again. But that's pretty much it from this little PR thing, mainly the whole $60 price point and the fact that Naoto Oshima is coming back to make this new character. Both really exciting stuff. And yeah, to kind of just wrap up my thoughts on this announcement, it's very exciting, but I'm still a little cautious. Something about this game just has too many Sonic 4 vibes that I'm not really digging. Again, still not sold on the full look of the game, and we won't really know how good the levels are, frankly, until they're just in our hands, because it's really hard to tell how good of the level design is in a Sonic game until you really try it for yourself. Multiplayer is really cool, obviously, but again, kind of adds to that New Super Mario Bros. Vibe that I'm not in love with. It's a little generic feeling for my taste, and that's kind of the biggest worry I have for this game. I don't want this to feel like a generic Sonic game, and no Sonic game ever really does. It always has some sort of point of personality for being memorable. I just hope that this game doesn't end up like New Super Mario Bros. Or, those other games, Sonic 4, where they just end up feeling like they have minimal personality. But all of that is to say that while I am cautious, this game looks really, really good. And it's coming out this year, which is super, super exciting. I think it's going to be a lot of fun to just try this game out and see how it is. And hopefully I can convince some friends or my family to play this game with me, since it'll be the first time that we're having 2D Sonic simultaneous multiplayer like this. It's pretty exciting stuff. But yeah, I've been doing enough rambling on this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, click that like button, subscribe, if you want to see more videos like this, because we'll definitely be doing more coverage on this game as things unfold. And yeah, once again, thank you so much for watching. I'll have an update video soon on what's been going on with me personally, as well as the direction for the channel moving forward. And yeah, thanks. Bye.